News Panorama is a TV news magazine program that gives you the story behind the story.
It tells the stories the way they should be told by capturing the larger scale.
It deals with people's deep feelings on issues that, when brought to the fore, ultimately educates, informs, and entertains.
News Panorama. Capture the larger scale.
Welcome to December, a month of all-round festivity in Cross River State. A season where people need physical cash for any kind of daily transaction. But cash seems not to fly, as Naira is said to be scarce in the country, and we wonder why. High cost of agricultural produce and living in Nigeria. Welcome and thanks for joining me on the program News Panorama. I am Josephine Efanga.
News Panorama. Capture the larger scale.
If you have just tuned in, you are watching News Panorama. Agriculture is the backbone of many economies, providing livelihoods for the people. However, the reliance of rain-fed agriculture can lead to food insecurity and economic instability during dry seasons. Dry season farming also providing farmers solution to produce crops and maintain food security through the years. Hence, the efforts of the state government towards propagating dry season farming in the state is seen as a welcome idea. Our correspondent, Victoria Otu, brings more details. The report.
Dry season farming, an uncommon practice of planting and cultivating crops, usually between the months of October and March. Due to the limited or lack of rainfall during this period, farmers depend heavily on irrigation system to water their farms. However, dry season farming can be challenging due to the hot and dry conditions. During the dry season farming, farmers face numerous challenges including soil degradation, water scarcity, and crop failure.
Well, farmers have to organize themselves. They organize themselves and try to reach out to places that they can get what they need. When they have a farmer's body and they meet, farmers are going to come up with their challenges, and the executive will put those challenges together and reach out to the appropriate quarters that will solve them, to government, to banks, to companies that can supply agri inputs. They can, put up that problem, the number of challenges, channel it to the Ministry of Agriculture at the state level, and of course to the respective local government areas through the Department of Agriculture in those local government councils.
In an interview with one of the farmers, stated that the present economy of the country is unfavorable, especially in the purchase of farming items, labor force, amongst others.
Then sinam yang mamang ikongami a song run to I don't want money or send you some. You need a pan money or kid 2,000 naira. I do go a pan money or kid. You can never kid. Bed kid, you need medicine, a pan money or riba. I buy bed sending a pan money or rita. Then fertilizer cake, but I don't find any fertilizer song one. Corona di English quantum. See don't find any. And go, now I'm body song on me, you kama call me. A congo you want me, can you kama? You send it on with. You kama going one me, idiampo. You kama going one me, you go for. A preference be a man, you want me a beam. So, see don't find any.
This manure that we are using, because chicken feed is at a high side, is high in price. So the people that give us manure also increase the price. So with this, we cannot cook.
In response to the coarse nature of dry season farming, the farmers solicit the support of government to help propagate an effective dry season farming.
We need help from government because people think that farmers are too poor, but we are not poor. No farmer, no food.
no farmer, no nation. Because when you don't eat, will nation be? There will be no nation because you will die of hunger. Food is everything in life. They're supposed to help us, especially in fertilizer. But they increase their fertilizer in the market. We buy a bag of white fertilizer, 36,000 naira. And why can we buy it like that and come and sell our thing in low money? What the manure? We buy manure 1,500. Those that go to factory bought it 1,000 and you take transport down here. When we buy fertilizer, and a sample of this bed I'm sitting there, you put one bag of manure, half bucket of small custard of fertilizer. How much will this cost? The other one 1,500. The other one, that is 3,000 naira. Minus it, how will you sell it? What will you get? So we really need government to help us.
For CRBC News Panorama, Victor L2 reporting.
The Naira scarcity in the country and the state has presented a challenge affecting various aspects of daily life, commerce and economic stability. Characterized by intermittent ATM shortage, fixed over-the-counter payments and peer transaction difficulties, this issue has sparked concern among residents and businesses alike. If you want to tells us more, the report.
Nigerians and indeed Prosperivarians are facing a daunting challenge that has disrupted daily life and economic activities. A severe scarcity of Naira notes. For weeks, citizens have struggled to access cash, leading to widespread frustration and desperation. The scarcity has crippled businesses, stalled economic growth, and inflicted hardship on individuals and families. This scarcity has resulted in long queues outside banks and ATMs, with many businesses resorting to alternative means of payment, such as digital transfers. But this has not alleviated the suffering of those without access to digital payment systems. The scarcity has also led to a surge in prices of goods and services, further exacerbating the economic hardship faced by citizens. The Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) had earlier introduced new currency notes, but the circulation of these notes has been slow, and many consider this one of the major reasons for the scarcity. The situation has been further complicated by reports of hoarding and profiteering, which have driven up prices and worsened the sufferings of citizens. Banks have resorted to rationing cash to customers in different parts of the country, while automated teller machines (ATMs) are no longer adequately funded to dispense cash to customers. Also, customers transacting over the counter hardly get up to 20,000 in cash, as requests of higher amounts are often met halfway by bank tellers explaining they don't have much cash. Furthermore, many points of sale (POS) operators have jerked up their charges in the face of cash rationing by banks, with many explaining they now have to pay higher to obtain cash from filling station owners and other business owners. Despite the warning issued by the CBN, the situation seems to only worsen. Some respondents opined that the problem is one that is artificially created by individuals and banks who are hoarding cash, while others were of the view that the scarcity is as a result of the festive season.
First and foremost, the narrative that CBN is not producing enough cash or there's no much cash in circulation is not true. I don't believe that is true. I think the case is more of the fact that the banks themselves are hoarding the cash. You know, with the preponderance of POS operators, you know, I'm making money from it. I learned, you know, I learned from some sources that the banks themselves are now running POS operations, and then they hoard this cash. They don't stash their ATM machines so that people will patronize ATM operators. Then the ATM operators themselves in turn go to the bank and buy the cash.
From all indications, it is artificial, because you cannot say that we have paucity of the Naira notes, which we know that shortly before now the CBN went into mass production of the Naira notes. So whatever we are seeing now is artificially created by some self-centered workers or employees in the bank who deliberately want to hoard the Naira in order to make profits by racketeering with, you know, POS attendants.
What I discovered is that whenever it is December time period, there will be shortage of currency, Naira currency. And then we go to bank, they will give you 15 naira and they know money.
This once pointed out that while government is trying in their effort to circulate cash, CBN withholding old Naira notes or not releasing new notes is not helping.
Our people are greedy. Government are giving us sometimes they said they should release the money, but particularly POS people, they know what they are doing. They will go to the bank, they will get the money early. Somebody can go to the bank with 4 or 5 ATM early in the morning and withdraw all the cash to go and sell. I don't really blame the government. Because like yesterday I listened to news, say you should release the money, central bank, they should pay money, you know that there's money in it to withdraw. But I don't blame them, I blame the POS people. But that's what they do. They go out early enough to withdraw all the money so that they can sell it out. Government are trying, but we should also cooperate with government.
Let's start from the CBN or Central Bank of Nigeria. Now when those old notes come let me get to them. And they need, they need to just, when they scrabble it, or if they are not ready to print new one, they should just return back the old notes. That's just what me understand. Instead of holding the old notes, then they are not disbursing new notes, then just making everybody just suffer.
They advise that CBN produces more of the new notes and ensure that the masses can access Naira in banks.
I think CBN is trying to regulate the flow of cash in the society. That's why we think very important for us to have enough cash floating. And people are scared, are holding the one they have with them. They are not releasing it into circulation, because if you go into the bank now, the liquid card is there, but the physical one is not there. Like those customers of banks that used to come and deposit money, they are no longer depositing money. People are scared of maybe what will happen thereafter.
I think they should produce more of the new notes and disburse it to the banks. Make sure that the bank managers put it in their ATMs and on the counter so that people can get access to it.
The Naira scarcity has become a major crisis with far-reaching consequences for citizens, businesses, and the economy as a whole. It is imperative that the government take decisive action to address the root cause of the scarcity and restore stability to the economy. The government must act swiftly to alleviate the suffering of citizens and prevent further economic hardship. For CRBC News Panorama, Ifeoluwa Ekpe reporting.
As the festive season approaches, Cross River State, renowned for its vibrant Christmas celebrations and carnival, transforming into dazzling city of lights and decorations. These elaborate displays brings joys for residents and tourists while adding charms to the state aesthetics landscape. Our correspondent, Patience Obok, explores the environmental impact of Christmas decorations. The report.
Calabar, widely celebrated for its annual carnival celebration during the festive season, has gained recognition for its dazzling Christmas decorations. The decorations, which include elaborate lighting installations, large displays, Christmas trees, and many more, is a sight to behold. Some residents commended the state government for beautifying the metropolis with Christmas decorations, urged that the citizens support the government by not vandalizing the beautified areas.
And looking at how decorated the 11/11 is, I see this as a very significant thing. Though it has been happening, but this one is so special because a lot of things have been put in place. I'm very, very happy with what is going on right now because it has a new look entirely. So I'm so proud of the current governor. He's doing a very big work, good work. So we as citizens, we need to also support him by not becoming vandals, destroying things that he's making effort to view.
Others expressed that plying the road at night is now a beauty to behold, as the decorations are more colorful at night and aesthetically pleasing for photos.
Nigerians generally, we are, let me say, photogenic. 80% of, in fact, even children are not 5 years. You could see them in front of cameras. They always want to snap. So I think the decoration is actually giving Nigerians, especially Cross-Riverians, an avenue to snap. Most people have not snapped for a long time. So once they see where it's very beautiful and highly decorated, they want to take photographs and all of that. So I think it's also an avenue to create excitement among the citizens of the state and it's something very encouraging, and I applaud the government for that.
Okay, it's beautiful actually. Coming from 8 miles down, we're having the Christmas vibes and everything, so it's just beautiful. Mostly at night, the light and everything, so it's colorful. And indeed, we've seen that true we are in the Christmas era.
These ones were of the view that the decorations be kept even after festivity season to indicate that the state practices Christianity and in another way complements the state's green and clean status.
The decoration is the significance for awareness and blessing, and the impact is like seeing it gives you hope and it makes you feel very happy about it. It's a festive period, so seeing the decoration is awesome.
The decorations is quite okay. For the duration of time that she had said, I believe it should be kept till, let's say, April, maybe after the heat start. That's when we start removing every other decorations that is being made on the roadside, or let's say probably the runabout, to help promote Cross River State to be of standard as it used to be.
A few others argued that the Christmas decorations does not represent a state religious status, as such decorations should be removed after festivities to avoid vandalization. For CRBC News Panorama, Patience Obok reporting.
With the festive season just by the corner, Cross River State residents are facing a daunting challenge: skyrocketing food prices from rice to poultry and vegetables to fruits. No commodity seems to be immune to the price hike. The traditional holiday meals, once a symbol of joy and togetherness, now threaten to be an unaffordable luxury. Efiowan Ekpeita investigates the surging cost of essential food items, the factors contributing to it, the report.
The steady hike in food prices has been a pressing concern for many households over the past month. What began as a gradual increase has snowballed into a full-blown crisis, with food prices skyrocketing to unprecedented levels. The rising cost of food items can be attributed to several factors. One major factor is the rising cost of production. Farmers are facing increasing costs for inputs such as fertilizers, pesticides, and labor, which are then passed on to consumers. Furthermore, climate change and weather-related disasters have led to crop failures and reduced yields, further driving up prices. The high cost of transportation and logistics is also a significant contributor to the rising cost of food. The cost of fuel, maintenance, and labor has increased, making it more expensive to transport food from farms to markets. The impact of the surging cost of food items is being felt across households. Many families are forced to adjust their budgets, cutting back on other essential expenses in order to afford the high cost of food. The most vulnerable households, including the poor and the elderly, are being disproportionately affected. As the festive season approaches, the high cost of food items is likely to exacerbate the financial burden on households. The traditional festive meals and celebrations may become unaffordable for many families, further highlighting the need for urgent action to address the surging cost of food items. Speaking, some Cross-Riverians noted that the high cost of food items can be attributed to the high cost of transportation and governmental policies, stating that these issues greatly affect the hike in food prices.
For now, we know that things are so hard, and since the president has said the fuel subsidy have gone, things become so hard because everything boils on fuel. If the fuel have come down, things in the market will be down, because when people travel to outside and bought things, it is not for them to buy those things and come. It is the transportation, and that person will want to make sure he sell it and have his income concerning the transportation, and those are the major problems that make things so hard.
We should go into agriculture and also bring down the fuel price. I hope that will normalize the cost of living in this country.
Since this fuel subsidy have come to stay, things could not be the same again. Everything have been skyrocketed. And beside that, number two, I will now highlight is because the policy of the government by banning importation of rice, foreign rice to the country, could not allow those things to come the way it's supposed to come. So that is the main factor.
Others observed that although food prices are rather on the increase, the festive season has caused a surge in the prices of food items due to increased demand.
Beginning from November to December, that high costs of food item always increase.
Prices of food, some food items were normal and affordable. Festive period, things are always very on the high side. And even small condiments like onions, yes. We got very small one for 300 naira compared to October we were buying the one of 300 naira for just 100 naira. So foodstuffs are on the high side this festive period.
Some appeal that the government look into the price of fuel, as a reduction in the fuel price will lead to food prices dropping substantially. They also advise the government to improve the agricultural sector of the state and country to boost agricultural yields.
Foodstuff and food items are so expensive, exorbitant, and people are not, the government is not helping matters. And this is not what we expect from them. They should do something about it. Cost of living is so high. People cannot travel to their place, their villages. People cannot enjoy the Christmas. What are we living for? What are we working for? What is the benefit of democracy? So I think things are not going the way we expect. So they should do something about it.
The food item is becoming alarming because if you can see, people are unable to afford what they call common rice. And now this festive period, and you find out that some family can't even afford the bag of rice. The government really need to look into this, because if this can happen 2024, what will happen at 2025? So really the government really have to look into it. If it's to make sure they have to go into farm, supply agricultural tools to help the farmers.
For CRBC News Panorama, Ifeoluwa Ekpe-Ita reporting.
That is all we have on our lineup this week. We hope to be back same time next week. Do keep a date with us. I am Josephine Efanga.